1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the New York Community Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Loretta Brooks, and it's nice to see each and every one of you. So today, we continue with our theme for the month, which is creativity, and I send out a warm welcome to each and every one of you this morning. I know that I always say in the beginning of our service, when you leave here, you will feel better than when you came in the door, okay? So having said that, it is now my pleasure to introduce to you Barbara Munlin, who is our licensed practitioner, and she is going to treat for us this morning. So please help me welcome Barbara.
Everybody. Good morning. That's good. Okay. So we're all prepared, ready? Here we go. We recognize that there is but one mind, one power, one presence, one action and one activity in the universe, and right where each and every one of us is, Spirit is. At the center of our being, there is a power and a presence for good. That is awesome power, intelligence, functioning on a pattern of health, wealth, wholeness, love, perfection, beauty, order, and ease. And we are open and receptive to it. We are willing to let this intelligence, this power of God direct our lives, be our thoughts, our actions and activity this day, right here and now. And as we open ourselves up to this divine force for good, we are enriched, inspired, motivated by the action of God. For God's thoughts are our thoughts. Ideas are our ideas. Health is our health. Wealth is our wealth. Love is our love. We are loving beings, enriched by the power and the presence of Spirit. And any thought that may be operating in the conscious or subconscious mind of anyone here that would try to resist, reject, rebel against this love, this joy, this power of Spirit. These thoughts are neutralized and dissolved, cannot, will not, and shall not gain entrance into our conscious or subconscious thoughts. For the power of God is ever alert, ever awake, ever aware, ever attentive to the truth. We ask and we receive. We are joyous beings, relishing the love, the joy, the health, and the wealth that is ours by our divine birthright. And we move forward with ease this day, right here and now, and all our ways are well. So be it, and so it is.
Thank you for that beautiful treatment. That was really wonderful, Barbara. That will set the foundation for our lesson and for everything we are doing this morning. And now it is a pleasure to welcome Catherine Halla. She's going to do our reading this morning. Catherine.
Good morning. Today, I expect and I accept only good. Knowing the truth leads me into a more abundant life. Today, I affirm that with God, all things are possible. I am conscious that the reality of my being is not separated from the divine. I am not only one with God, God is also one with me and in me. Deliberately, I turn to this inner self, knowing that it has no problems. It is never poor, sick, weak, or unhappy. Persistently, I practice the divine presence. I enter the gates of good with praise and thanksgiving, finding joy in and fulfillment in everything that I do. Complete prosperity is mine. Good is forever flowing, eternally manifesting itself to me. My good flows to me from every source because I recognize all sources as divine. My hands are open to receive and remain open that they may again give out and thus multiply the divine gifts. Today, the truth leads me into the possession of everything necessary to my very well-being here on earth. When I discover the inner kingdom with its spiritual gifts, the material gifts that shadow forth its inner kingdom will also make their appearance. I now forget any wrong that may have appeared to my outer world, and turning with gratitude toward the inner light. I think upon those things that are good. I no longer contend against people or events. In doing this, I become emancipated from my previous bondings. Today, everything in my experience is made new. Today, I expect and I accept only good.
Reading, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you, thank you. So now we have our announcements, and I am going to be doing a workshop today, Prospering Power of Love, Part 2. So that will begin around 12:30 until 2 with a love offering. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be really good. And I also want to let you know, and I know that Gary will be very happy. Where is Gary McMillan? Is he here? There he is. We're doing the Miracle Morning again, but we're going to use the spiritual path. I'm going to be teaching that, and I will start that probably the end of September or sometime in October. There will be notices about that on the back table. But I love the Miracle Morning. Anybody else in here love the Miracle Morning? I really did. And if you haven't taken it, I would strongly suggest that you do. It's really, it's a wonderful book by Hal Elrod, and it just talks about creating a practice every day. So I will start teaching that, and you will get credit for it. It is an accredited course. I just change things around a little bit. I don't go by the curriculum they give us, which is a good thing for me. Anyway, and so also we have the Committee of 100. If you would care to donate for our Wednesday evening, Barbara did a flyer on the back table for that, and Barbara will be collecting the money. So if you'd like to pledge $100 or give $100 when you can, that's going to help us with the rent. And we will collect names and acknowledge everyone who has contributed. We would really appreciate that because it helps us to pay the rent on Wednesday night. And then you can come there and get all kinds of blessings with lessons on Catherine Ponder and all kinds of wonderful people like that. So we look forward to that. There is also something about Reiki on the back table on Monday night. That's a free thing. You can go there for free. There's also a notification about that on the back table. So I think that's about it for our announcements this morning. I just want to say that we have two lovely people here from Reverend Michael's Center, Agape from California. So welcome, both of you, welcome. Yes, welcome. And our love and blessings out to Reverend Michael Beckwith, who is one of the greats, isn't he? He's really such a wonderful man. We love him. So send our love to him when you go back. And I just want to say thank you to so many of you, especially to Rick, because he helped me so much with all of the things that we did with this. You know, it's funny because sometimes have you ever heard that expression, when you get lemons, make lemonade? That's what my talk is about today. That's really what it's about. When you get lemons, make lemonade. I had lots of lemonade this week, lots of lemonade. So, okay, having said all of that, let's warmly welcome up James and Julie. They're going to be our musicians today.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. You guys are such a good-looking bunch. You should see what we see standing up here. Bless you.
Such a pleasure to be here. Reverend Loretta, thank you as always for having us. I look forward to this pretty much every day I'm not here. So we're going to do a song. Thank you, Ichi. We're going to do a song by Janice Stanfield called If I Were Brave. We encourage you all to embody it. Sing along do whatever suits you. What would I do if I knew that I could not fail? If I believed with the wind always fill up my sail.
How far could I go? What could I achieve? Trusting the hero in me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave?
What would I do? What if we're all meant to do what we've secretly dreamed? What would you do if you knew you could have anything?
Like the mighty oak sleeps in the heart of a seed, there are miracles in you and me. If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? If I refuse to listen to the voice of fear, would the voice of courage whisper in my ear? If I were brave, I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith, even when losing my way. What step would I take today if I were brave? So you can join us singing. Ask yourself, what would you do? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? I'd walk the razor's edge, where true believers dare to tread. I'd never lose faith.
If I were brave,
What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? What would I do today if I were brave? You guys always sound so good singing out there.
great singing, great singing.
Thank you, James and Julie. We missed you, and we're glad you're here. Wonderful, wonderful. And you know what? I forgot to ask everyone to, I'm wondering if this is stable or not. Yeah. I forgot to ask everyone to wish each other a happy Sunday. Did you get that? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy, happy Sunday. Happy, happy Sunday. Oh, I need a program. Can I have to take this. Somebody took my program. Thank you. Otherwise, yeah, okay. Happy Sunday, everyone. I knew I forgot something. Happy Sunday. So, title of our talk today is Who is your contact, your spiritual contact? Who is your real contact information? Or what is your real contact information? So I had quite an experience this week. Do I hear music? I hear music. Okay. Okay. So what is your real contact information? That is really the name of this talk. And this week I had quite an experience. Oh, Fanny, okay, I apologize. That's okay. No, you can do it now. That's okay. You're prepared for it. See what happens? I really had a challenging week this week. So, I mean, this is really, okay, I did a talk, but I'll give you more of that talk next time. And Fanny's going to do our talk today. I thought it was next month. I apologize. Okay, that's fine. Please help me welcome Fanny. She's going to do a talk on...
Mistakes. Okay. It's a little tall for me. Okay. Today I'm talking about the gift of creativity, and my references were Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, The Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes, and Create the Life You Want by Raymond Charles Barker. This was an interesting theme for me in that this past week I've had a challenge that I had not had before in my life. I've done a lot of things. I've organized a lot of things, but I was tasked to organize a workshop for the UN non-governmental organizations, plus UN entities, offices. And so creativity shows up in all areas of your life. I'm going to go back to that later. It spins out into the ways in which we relate to others, handle difficulties, find innovative solutions to our problems, as well as to the world's problems. Creativity is an ingrown instinct that we come here with, but how do we use it? How do we recognize it? How do we appreciate it? Because it can and will help us in all areas of our lives. In Living in the Science of Mind, it states that the I am in you and me is the sole creative agency which in the universe. Whether you call it your will or your imagination, it's there. Louise Hayes says, we are powerful, creative beings who determine our future with every thought we think and every word we speak. How do we embrace this creative power? We first must recognize that we have it in us. And I would say this, religious science gives us the tools to recognize the Spirit of God within each of us. And when we start to recognize that Spirit and work with that Spirit, it guides us aright. It guides us in our relationships. It guides us in our careers. It guides us in every area, particularly if we are conscious of the thing that's there. and do not deny it or try to hide it. We are created in the image and likeness of God, so therefore we have all the natures of this divine, omnipotent, omnipresent force. And what I do with myself is that I have a spiritual practice. And I, each day, try to honor that creative part of me, the part of me that guides, supports, and directs my thoughts. And as we learn in religious science, our thought creates things. And what we need to do is ask, what things are we creating in our lives? How do we create what we want? How do we create a good life, prosperity, health, and well-being? It's the thought that we think. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made into everything that is and everything that is to come. So the word, the spoken word, the power of the words that we speak, the thoughts that we think. What is the dominant thought that runs through your mind every day? How do you control that thought, that errant thought, that thought that says, oh no, do this, don't do that? The thought that tells you to get angry at something someone says to you, and the thought that says to be quiet and listen. If we listen to the spiritual guide within us, we can't go wrong. But there's so many things on the outside that will come, friends, or co-workers, discouraging remarks. And if we take those marks internally, internalizing things creates the problem. As long as you do not internalize negativity, there's no way for it to destroy you or move you off your course or stop you from obtaining your goal. You have to look at the positive. Everything on this planet was an idea in someone's mind, in the mind of God, individualized through us. This building was an idea in someone's mind. The creativity of spirit within us allows us to express God in a magnificent, grandiose way. That creativity brings forth all the good that we want. It is also can bring forth the negative, depending on how we use the thought and the words we speak. I got an assignment to do this conference workshop. I was assigned, I was not asked if I wanted to do it. And I got the notice saying, you are assigned to do this. Now, I've done so many things at the UN, all different programs. I've met the Secretary General, I've talked with him, I've done things with every committee except the workshop committee. So what do? First I treat it, and the things that I had to do, I have had no knowledge. Google Hangout, Google Hangout. I don't know anything about Google Hangouts. Excel spreadsheet. No, I know nothing about Excel spreadsheet. I do know how to use the internet. I do know how to do research. I do know how to have people, encourage people to work with me. I am a good organizer. I say that because I like organizing. And I said, how do I put together a group of people that I can work with, knowing that I know nothing about what I am to tell them to do? So I treated, and I got the first person who said yes was Kevin from Pennsylvania. And I said to Kevin, I know nothing about Excel. I don't know how we're going to get this information. And we got the information. Oh, it was the way it came in. It wasn't organized. The name of the person was here. The title of the workshop was someplace else. The description was someone else. And the speakers was everything was just, and I had no idea how to bring this together. So Kevin said, I know how, and he showed me what to do, and we went through it. Then I got a very nice assistant co-chair who was very organized and detail-oriented, and she worked. But I used my creative ability to encourage these people, my group, to work together in synergy and harmony. Now, we all come here with the ability to do all kinds of things. Even if we don't know how to do it, there's always someone who does know. And how do you get those people in your group to do what it is you want to do? You treat. And then you let that person have the responsibility. You encourage that person. When you're not egocentric, if your ego is larger than this room, you cannot get people to work with you. That is outside of being creative. You cannot get people to work with you if you're going to take all the credit for everything that everyone does or say, then you can't get them to work for you or with you. So my idea of to use my creative ability was to let them do what they do and do it well. And they did it. They did it well because I have enough confidence in myself to know what I can do and what I can do well. Now, we all come here with that. We come here prepared to do all the good things that we want to do in our lives, provided we recognize where we are, who we are, what we can do, what we cannot do, and accept it. It is not a negative in any way to say, I do not know. I don't know that. But I am willing to learn from someone else and let someone else do it. We look at creativity as something outside. Everybody else is creative, but I'm not. You are, I am. We're all creative in different ways. And we can use creativity to make our lives better. Raymond Charles Barker states that we can create the life we want. And if we are co-creators, we are not the master creator, but we are co-creators with God. God gave us the ability to be the co-creator with this grand spirit, this spirit that is omnipotent, omni-action, omnipresent, everywhere. In the tiniest place on the planet, in the most lofty staterooms or boardroom, the Spirit of God is there if we use it, and we can use it aright. We have the freedom of choice. Now, some people think we don't have choice. We have a choice. We can either do it spiritually, correctly, or we can do it the opposite. And then when we do it the opposite, we complain that, oh, it's Mary's fault, or it's somebody else's fault. We must take responsibilities for our own action. The only way to change or to learn is to take responsibility for whatever happens to you or me. I take responsibility when I make a mistake. I made a mistake, but that mistake is not permanent. I can move on. What lesson is in this event that I need to learn? Sometimes it's humility. Sometimes it's trust. Sometimes it's me to acknowledge someone else. But the creativity in us is just magnificent. It is the quality that allows us to create what we want what we enjoy and to enjoy life. Through this study of religious science, I have grown tremendously. I have learned to accept the spiritual gifts that I have, to appreciate my life, to say that the spirit that brought me forth on this planet at this time in this place, I am eternally grateful for that. For I am, and we all are, a divine idea in the mind of God, divinely guided, supported, maintained, and sustained by this magnificent, this all-encompassing spirit of life. And what we need to do is to look out and wake up. This morning I got up and said, I'm giving a talk this morning. And I did my treatment. I do my treatment work. I treat walking down the street to myself. I treat in the subway, and the subway is a good place to do treatment because there are a lot of consciousness in the subway that are going astray. And so you want to stay clear of those people, but you want to bless them, bless them. And I treat for myself, and I said, the Spirit of God in me is the Spirit of God. And this lady across the way who just said to me, why are you looking at me? And God knows I was not. I may have been looking in the direction, but I was not looking at her, and I'm treating that she has a good day, and she will recognize that the Spirit of God is in her, that creativity that brought her forth is the guiding force that will take her safely through her day, and will take me safely through my day. Practicality. Reverend Loretta talks about putting things in practice. I try to talk about things you can put in practice. To sit here and listen to me talk is good, but put it into action for yourself. Religious science is a self-help spiritual practice. It's a self-help. I can't do it for you, but you can do it for yourself. And you must be willing to take the steps, willing to let the creativity in you move forward. If you're going to do something and you ask everybody in the world for permission to do it, then it will never get done. Because everyone you ask will tell you at least 4 reasons why you should not do it. 4 reasons why you should not do it. And if you listen to those reasons, you will get no place. So when I decide to do something, I make up my mind I'll do it. I do my treatment work about it. And if it continues to bother me in my consciousness, I do what my sister told me to do. I cast the burden. I turn it over to Spirit and wait for a spiritual answer. I had such an incident this past month or so. And it bothered me tremendously. My sister-in-law passed away, and I had said I was going to go. And then something said to me, no, this is not the time for you to go. You should go later. And the reason I didn't go was that I recognized that my brother needed some help after the service. But it just kept going over and over. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And then I treated, and I was lying in my bed, and I sat up, boom, wide awake. And it said, you're doing the right thing. Let it go. The creative spirit in me guided me to that decision. The creativity, and when I talk about creativity, I'm talking about that voice, that spiritual guidance that guides us and tells us when we're doing things right and when we're doing things wrong. And we can correct. The one beauty of this teaching and the beauty of being a spiritual being, having a human experience, is that God holds nothing against us. Think about it. All mistakes are not indelibly printed so that you have to answer for every detail. When I was young, it was said, in the church that I said, it said, Jesus said to pray and watch. That just, I didn't know what that meant. I said, oh my God, I've got to watch. What am I watching? Am I watching the people out there? Who am I watching? What am I watching? But being in religious science, I discovered what it was that I must watch. My thoughts, my words. We have a lot of people, I'm not going to call names, who say, people are always saying negative things about me. Well, this person is always putting out negative. What can you get back? But what you put out. If you put out good, you get back good. So we must, our thoughts, our words have power. Think about it. Our thoughts, our words have power. And if we recognize that our thoughts and our words have power, why do we insist on using all the negatives that we can conjure up? I'm not this, I'm not that. She has that, I don't have this. You have everything. You have the power and the presence of God in you on an individual basis. We are not God, but we have the qualities. We have the support. We have the thing to move us forward with ease, without struggle, without strain. And if we send out all of this good, we can only get back good. Self-acceptance. The one thing we must learn to do is to accept ourselves as we are. We are perfect and complete. As you are, as I am perfect and complete in the mind of God. Therefore, I must be perfect and complete in my own consciousness. If I am made in the image and likeness of God, then I am perfect, complete as I am. There's nothing to be added, nothing to be taken away. I am all that I am by means of God. And I move forward on this premise, this creative idea, that I can create what I want in my life. I can make my life magnificent, or I can make my life drudgery. Just absolutely a dredge and walk around sad and oh. But I can pull that up. You can be down, but you don't have to stay down. We all have run into situations. One of the things that I read in Barker, it says, turn challenges into opportunities and problems into possibilities through the creative process within each one of us. Think about it. If you have a challenge, how do you look at it? Examine how you're thinking about this challenge. Thinking about what you should do about it. Letting it go instead of ruminating over, oh, I have this, I can't do that. No, treat and let it go. Treat and let go. Turn it over to the power that is greater than you and I, but that power that is in you and in me will do everything that we want, provided we let go. You can't hang on, you can't move forward looking backwards. If you're going to look backwards, you're not going forward. So go forward with spirit, go forward with confidence that all things are working together in your life. The one thing that I have found is that if I trust in the Spirit of God within me and accept this creativity, this trusting spirit, no matter what I face, no matter the challenges that I face, I find an answer. Now, sometimes the answer is not the answer that I had in mind, but is the answer, the right answer to the problem. We are spiritual beings. We must recognize that, accept that, and use our creativity to create not good only good for ourselves, but for good for others. That there are a lot of people in the world that we should treat for world peace. I do that. Treat for understanding, cooperation. Just think about it for a moment. If we are all created in the image and likeness of God, then we are all the same. We may be different shapes, colors, and sizes, but in the realm of this great omnipotent, omni-action, omnipresent force, we're all basically the same. We all want the same things. We all want love. We all want health and wellness, prosperity. All of those things through spiritual mind treatment and watching what we think. That's in religious science, it always says the thoughts are things, and the dominant thoughts are what we're producing in our lives. How are you thinking? How are you using that creative spirit to treat and create what you like and what you want? The one thing that I find, and I will leave you with this thought, that I can change the way I think. And I can use religious science and spiritual mind treatment with the creative process that is within me to create what I want in my life. Now, have I reached everything? Have I accomplished all the things that I would like? No. Because we have setbacks, we have television, radio, everything. But to stay on the course, to go off and come back, if you make a mistake, it is not impossible to correct because God holds no grudges. I used to hear in church when I was going to the church, God is a jealous God. And I'm saying, oh my goodness, how can I please this God who is so jealous? That is not true. The mistake that you made today is not carried over in tomorrow. Everything is the now. It is the now, what you do now, and not the future. And so many of us live for tomorrow, live the best life today. For today is the day, and it's the only day that we all have. Tomorrow is not here. Next year is not here. But today is here. And we are divine ideas in the mind of God. Let's use our creativity and that divine spirit within to create joy, love, prosperity, health, and wellness in our lives. And so in the lesson.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful lesson. That was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Gentle correction. I love that idea. I think about that all the time. When you do something, there's a way to gently correct it with spirit. I just want to share, we have time just for a little share from me from my story this morning, because it's a funny one. It'll make you laugh, I think. Anyway, what Fanny's talking about, that was a brilliant lesson, Fanny. Thank you so much for that. It was very joyous. And I accept everything. I'm very flexible, as you will notice, and I just go with the flow. That's what I do. And I think that's a wonderful way to be. I really do. When things happen, you know, something happened this morning, there was a miscommunication somehow, go with the flow and honor Fanny for the wonderful job. I'm very refreshed and blessed by your lesson. Thank you. Thank you. That was a blessing. So I just want to share something with you. You know, I am not technologically savvy. Can anybody relate to that? There's some young people here. And okay, so I had to do something on an iPad this week, and this is exactly what Fanny was talking about in the lesson. And so I went to the Apple store in the mall near me in Short Hills, New Jersey. I spent 2 hours or an hour and a half up there with 3 men who still couldn't fix the iPad. But they said, guess what, Loretta? We're going to put you in touch with someone tomorrow that's going to help you fix this iPad. So I get on the phone, I have an appointment, and here's what happened. The man gets on the telephone and he says, my name is Stephen, I'm a senior advisor at Apple. Any questions? That's the truth. I'm just sharing this with you because then it got a little bit more challenging, because then after I had to do that, I had to do a few other things with the Apple computer, and it went on, and then this man said to me, after I had gone to the store, I had been on the phone, he said, okay, Loretta, now you have to go to the App Store. So I said to him, I've been to so many stores this week. What kind of store is this? Is this like a phone store, or is this like a... Anyway, I'm sharing that story with you because that's a true story, but it was the virtual store, which I did not get. I did not get that, so I had to share that with you. I thought that was kind of funny. So it just goes to show what Fanny's talking about in her lesson this morning is so true. You can find the right people, and here's the moral of the story, true story. My friend Sarah came to the rescue. She came in and within a half an hour set up the iPad, and then another 4 hours later set up the other thing. So we're set up for our credit card. So I wanted to share that with you. I just had to share that. I'm doing my workshop today, and I feel very, very blessed. And we're going to have our offering affirmation, and then I'll do a treatment, and then we'll do our prayer together. So help me welcome James and Julie.
Exactly as it's supposed to. The song that we decided a few days ago that we were going to sing this morning is I Am As God Created Me. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Yep, I'm on.
Okay.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. And we're going to sing that in a few different ways over and over again so that you all get a chance to connect, embody that however you will. Certainly, we hope you sing. God created me. Am I in the wrong key? Yeah, yes, I'm in the wrong key.
Take two.
I know all of you knew that. I am as God created me, so there you go. There can be no wrong key.
That was your warm-up.
That's right.
That was a chance to warm your shakers up.
You were paying attention. All right, let's try this again. God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the love, in the glory of God I am.
Repeat that line.
In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory I am.
Repeat.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory I am.
Back to the top.
I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light, in the
In the
love.
light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory I am. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory of God I am.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory. In the light and the love and the glory I am. Nice
Ooh,
playing
you
and
guys
singing.
sound good out there.
Wonderful energy.